Hi, welcome to I Love the Library. I'm Mary Haney, Director of the Detroit Lakes Public Library, and I have a very special guest with me today. This is Cathy Wurzer. Cathy, welcome.
Thank you.
Cathy is a broadcast journalist. You can hear her most weekday mornings on Minnesota Public Radio's Morning Edition, and also, at least around here, on Friday nights on Public Television's Almanac program. So we're so delighted to have you here with us in Detroit Lakes, Cathy.
I have never been to Detroit Lakes, Mary, until now, and it is a beautiful place. Thanks for inviting me.
We're so glad you're here, but tell us what brought you here, and tell us a little about your book, Tales of the Road.
I am a published author, and actually I'm here in Detroit Lakes talking about Tales of the Road, Highway 61, and thank you for inviting me because I'm an artist in residence, and I've been doing a number of different things around Detroit Lakes, talking about books and writing, and I'll be talking to some of the students at the high school about filmmaking and that kind of thing. So that's what brought me to Detroit Lakes. I know many people will say, well, 61's not around by Detroit Lakes. You have, of course, Highway 10, but no matter where you are in Minnesota, be it Detroit Lakes or Frazee or Two Harbors, almost everyone knows about Highway 61.
So just tell us quickly, where is Highway 61? Because there might be a few people who don't know.
That's probably true. Actually, Highway 61 starts at Grand Portage, Minnesota. That's the very tip of the arrowhead. It goes 440 miles all the way down to La Crescent at the very southernmost tip before it goes into Wisconsin.
Okay, and you not only have a book, but you also have a DVD, right?
We did do, for public television, a documentary called Tales of the Road, Highway 61, which will be shown in this area sometime in the near future. It was on Twin Cities Public Television, and it's the kind of the film version of the book. So we take viewers down that entire 440 miles in a 1946 Cadillac, which was amazing. It was really something. And we tell stories as we go down that highway. So it kind of dovetails, the film dovetails with the book, and they kind of inform each other.
Okay, wonderful. So it's a road trip book, right?
It is a road trip. It's kind of a travelogue, but it really, I wanted to focus on sites along the highway. Old Highway 10 has some great sites, I know that for a fact. Mm-hmm. Highway 61 has some great sites as well, and I wanted people to say, I didn't know that, really. So, of course, you all know about Split Rock Lighthouse on the North Shore of Lake Superior on 61. And we talk about that, but I wanted to also mention stories that people would say, oh, really? That's interesting. And I want people, wherever they're traveling, whatever highway, should kind of be more cognizant of what's on either side of the road, because there are some really great stories along almost every mile of some of these great two-lane roads.
Okay. So did you do any road trips when you were a child with your family?
Yeah, that's actually kind of, I think, where I got my love of road tripping. We would go up 169 to the lakes area, stay in Brainerd and Nisswa. Park Rapids was a place that we would often go to. My parents have now moved from Minneapolis to Two Harbors, so I'm always on Highway 61. So really most of the road trips I remember would be going up the North Shore of Lake Superior. And that's what kind of got me to really thinking about doing a documentary and a book about 61, because many people have traveled Highway 61. And we used this book, which I see you have in the library, which is terrific. This is a copy of the WPA Road Guide to Minnesota. I'm glad you have it. This is has been put up at the Minnesota Historical Society, and this is what I used to actually inform my book in the documentary. We used this old book as a thread, and it's the very first tour guide to Minnesota, and the very first tour in the book is Highway 61. Detroit Lakes, by the way, tour 16, right here in the book. Right. And they do talk about the library in this particular book.
They do mention the library.
It's a great book.
Wonderful. Well, and there are 20 road tours in that book.
Yes.
Are there other tours that you'll be planning to make a documentary out of, or any tours you're planning to follow?
You know, I'm so busy at Minnesota Public Radio. I think there's a definite sequel for me. We left out so many stories for Tales of the Road in the original documentary for television that I think I want to go take that old car and just drive it right back up the road and finish Highway 61 in Minnesota. But somebody else just today in Detroit Lakes said, well, how about Tales of the Road Highway 10? And, you know, really, I bet there are some great stories along Highway 10. There's as I said, great stories along a lot of these old highways in Minnesota.
Or my favorite, Highway 34.
Really?
Beautiful. That's one of the most beautiful highways in Minnesota.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
See, this is why I talk to people.
It's wonderful.
You find things out, Mary.
So, Cathy, one last question.
Yes.
Do you have any guilty pleasures when it comes to reading?
Oh, no. I knew she was going to ask me this. Librarians, they always ask the best
We
questions.
want to know what people are reading.
You know, I rarely get an opportunity to read fiction. I only do that when I'm on vacation because I'm usually reading a lot of nonfiction for my job. I hate to admit this to you. People magazine. I get trashy magazines when I'm on vacation. I whip through People and Us and some of these gossipy magazines, and yeah, I'm so sorry to admit that to you, but it's true. You know, I usually read a lot of highbrow stuff, so.
But reading should be for fun too.
It is, and I do love reading, and really being an author has been the most amazing experience, truly.
Well, Cathy, thanks so much for joining me today on I Love the Library. It's been wonderful to have you here in Detroit Lakes.
I have had a wonderful time, Mary. Thank you so much.